actually be dedicated to dog groomers. And it was a really long time that I didn't specifically talk to you as an audience. I was providing like more of the general knowledge about the dogs, that my discovery led me to this an amazing penetration, an amazing decoding of the market. Finally, I learned about how to attract the market, how to attract the people. When I decoded, it's not the knowledge I didn't know. It just kind of obviously I didn't know how to communicate with this. So first, I'm inviting you, and this 2 days before when we are leaving for Kentucky, like 2 days. In 2 days. So in 2 days, I'm gonna work with you every single day in order to help you sign up for this challenge that's gonna happen on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I invite you, and I want you to be part of that. It's a free challenge, and we're gonna go specifically through 3 different categories and 3 different topics. It will be a knowledge. It will be first day going to be about the knowledge. The second day going to be about the skills. And then the third thing would be about emotions, or the branding, or this never-ending circle of trying and errors. Like we are feeling like we are circling around, not be able to kind of develop our business the way we want. Even when developed, we fail to recognize, or we become overwhelmed. That's the problem of the industry. The problem of the industry is stress and burnout. Because the grooming is demand. Like you really need to be like artist of not knowing how to express yourself on the market in order not to bring your business very fast to operating in full capacity. It's gonna go up and down and up and down, and we're gonna end up having maybe 6 months in the year that we will gonna be really packed, and then the other 6 months in the year that we're gonna struggle, thinking like what we are doing wrong and why we can't survive. So it's kind of like a business that generates this high stress industry. That's high stress. Like every single pet care industry is very high stress. So I'm gonna do this live day, like today, tomorrow. I don't know the timing. I can't tell you like what time I'm gonna go live, but I'm gonna go live every day. I'm gonna put together this little Bichon. I'm gonna groom this little Bichon in front of you, together with you, and I'm gonna share with you how actually you learn to groom Bichons. What every single one that went together with me on any journey, if I can say so, about learning or me teaching them, get maybe on the beginning a little frustrated, because I don't share and I don't tell, and I'm a teacher that's kind of like doesn't care about how you're gonna accomplish something if you know what you are going after. So that's the most important thing when you're learning about a grooming, is what do you want to achieve? And every single time and why, so what you want to achieve, that's the first thing. And then why do you want to achieve that? Why do you want to achieve the Bichon looking the way the Bichon should look like, and how the Bichon should look like? Every single time that we are going to these master classes, to these famous groomers that we talk about, and we'll say, this is how you groom the Bichon. And then you open some books and the Bibles about the grooming, and you're gonna see all these lines and all these patterns. You put this is what you clip short, and this is what you clip with this blade, and this is what you clip with that blade, and then you do everything that you are suggested to do, and then the outcome of that's not right. Of course it's not right, because our grooming is always dependent on influenced by so many factors. There is no possibility for you to mimic anything you learned. So the circle of frustration goes beyond the possibility, because I knew when I was grooming dogs for the shows, and then I had a lot of seminars that I was talking about the dogs. But I'm coming from the mindset of the show people. So when you are grooming for the confirmation that what you are doing, you are hiding the faults and you are exaggerated or making dog look appearing like nicely on the good characteristic of the dog appear nice, right? So how would you know what's good, what's nice? It's not that you come to me for seminar and I teach you what's good for the Bichon and what's not good for the Bichon. What I'm teaching you is how to learn about the Bichon yourself. And where is the amazing, how can I say, where is that specific standard of the Bichon grooming? Regardless what I think about a Bichon, do I like a Bichon? How would I do the Bichon? There is a specific place that we can all go after and learn the real Bichon. And I'm gonna talk about today about that, and then slowly we're gonna put this dog together. We're gonna learn about this specific dog, about this specific model that I have here on the table. Yeah, go. Who? What did I did at the Intergroom? I'm sorry. Kimberly Maltas. What did I do on Intergroom? What did I said? Please. I'm sorry that did I? When was that? I really apologize. That's never my intention. Please tell me. How can I make it? How can I make it right? I never wanted to diss anyone. But it's kind of like I'm a human, and I have my own, I'm fighting my own demons like all of us do. And I'm kind of like, this what I'm trying to do. And that's usually oftentimes, my way of teaching people might come out rude, what I really apologize for. But I always have, because maybe that's I had very rude teachers to me too. But look where that set me, where did I came across? Because I never took it personally. I never took whatever my teachers told me. I never took it personally. What did I do?
I try to support you always. I'm a big fan of yours, even though you just. I try to support you always, Kimberly Matalas.
I try to support you always. I thank you so much, but I kind of like, if you don't want to say publicly, you can write me, even though I want to apologize you publicly, because I just, and I know actually, yeah, you're right. That's oftentimes the people are just complaining that I am maybe too tough, and I'm maybe that kind of personality, I guess. But I never ever intended to kind of like this on anyone. So what usually comes to be the way I teach is, oftentimes I have people crying on my seminars. Oftentimes they would say like, oh my God, how do you do this and how do you that? And I said, like, I didn't come here to tell you what I'm doing. I'm coming here to tell you how did I get here. It's not about what I'm doing now. It's about how did I learn this. And then when I showed, because I lost my family in order to learn this. I lost my health in order to do this. I lost a lot of things in my life. I sacrificed a lot that you don't need to sacrifice in order to get where I am. But what I'm oftentimes explaining to the people, it's not an easy journey, because what we are dealing here is not because how do we see something and where that picture is processed? What we see is gonna be processed by our mind. So we see the Bichon, and then we look at the Bichon, and then you have a Bichon picture on the Bichon on the screen of your mind. But that's the screen of the Bichon in our brain. So when we are actually learning about something, what's happening there is can you just let that, I'm sorry, puppy. Okay, I'm taking this away from the puppy. Can you take that away so he doesn't chew on this? So the way we learn about the knowledge is developed within the brain. And then you know what? What's the problem there? Because it's like with every single thing that we need to, every single program that we need to overwrite. We are overwriting the picture of the Bichon that we want to improve on. And we are trying to look for the better way to learn about the Bichon. And we think that by grooming more Bichons, looking and watching more people, how they do it on the seminars or on YouTubes or wherever, that we're gonna improve our Bichon. That's not gonna happen. Well, how do we improve on a Bichon? By learning about the Bichon. And where to learn about a bit, but the people doesn't want to learn about the Bichon. They want me to tell them how to groom the Bichon. That's not how you learn. And I do understand that you as a student, you have your perception of how you should be taught. And I already have my experience in how do people really learn. You know, when I learned this, and it was one of my, before the intergroom, it was like, I had my class, it was a workshop. It was a workshop hosted by Olga in her grooming shop. And there were like a lot of people with the poodles. And that was the last time actually I hosted the workshop. No, I did actually, after that, I did one probably that you was at. After my passionate poodle course, I think that was a passionate poodle course part that I was doing in conjunction with the intergroom, with a lady from there. I don't know what's her name, the Filippo. Christine De Filippo, she was the owner of the, now you're doing in front of the camera, right? So what's going on there is that, I was there and I was talking to the people about, I had my poodle seminar, and I talk about a round rib cage. Because of the misinterpretation of the poodle standard and misinterpretation of a lot of interpretations, and everyone have their own subjective way of interpreting things, that's why we end up having poodles today bred to look like a terriers, flat-sided chests, long on legs, short in a top line, reaching out and moving through the ring like a ponies or like a pinchers or things like that. So it's not good. And the breeding, the poodle, real poodle is a rounded rib cage that you don't find often time today in a ring. So what you do there and said, like, make this. I was telling to the lady, make this rib cage round, because that's what the poodles are, a rounded rib cage. Give them a little. It's not about do I like a waist or I don't like a waist. Does the poodle have waist or poodle doesn't have a waist? When you're gonna learn that, when you take on a real beautiful specimen of the poodle, like a dog, probably the ones that won, but likelihood would be that the bred perfectly up to perfection, and then you put them on the table and then you shave them off. Those dogs you will do have waist. Where the waist is coming from? The waist is coming from rounded rib cage and well-developed rear part of the dogs, like a croup. So in between those two things, you will see a little slighted waist. And then I said, make this rib cage round. And I make a circle, going round, and I said, I see that lady, and I said, I come back, she made it flat. And I said, but I told you, she even took a curved scissors and she made it flat. I said, okay, let's do it again. I'll groom this side of the dog, and then you groom the other side of the dog, and just mimic what I did on this side. And I made my side appear round, and I said, now you mimic that on the other side. Okay, now I make around, it was like maybe 10 dogs or something like that. So until I came around, she said that there, and she said again, it was flat. And I said, do you see the difference in between this one and that one? She said, I do. But her skills of grooming, her skills with the scissors were perfect, like a breathtaking. Her thumb was moving like a perfect. So it's not a skill issue. I said, do you see the difference in between my side that's round and your side that's flat? Already second time in a row, I'm telling you what to do. Why you can't do it? And now that there is always it's a workshop, so now we have 5 people there, and then now everyone is watching. Now she feels like she's not worthy. I'm telling too much. I'm asking too much. I'm not helping her. And I say, okay, let's try 10 times now. Let's try another strategy. And I said, let's try another strategy. Okay, you see, my side is round. My part of the rib cage is round. Take a scissors and just make it a little tighter. So instead of having 3 inches on the chest, you try to keep the shape, try to keep the roundness, and just take a little bit off. So just make it tighter, just let it be round. And I let her again. I move around. I said, come back. My side is flat again. So it's not that she made it. And now, whatever I say now, it's gonna be hurtful. But that's what she paid me to do. She paid me to help her improve. She paid me to help her move on. Now I need to try the way how to do that without forcing and helping people feel the way maybe you felt. Maybe this lady felt too. I know she felt too because she started to cry, doubting her skills. And I said, it's nothing to do with your skills, because your skills are perfect. You are moving the scissors perfectly. You have a problem with seeing it. Why? Because the picture of the poodle within the brain she's looking at using eyes to look at them have a flat rib cage. No matter what she wants, the skills and the things going to develop. So what we need to do first is develop and reshape the understanding of the breed, whichever breed we want to groom, inside our brain. And that's done by understanding. And understanding is done by the things that no one wants to do in this ADHD era. It's studying. Studying the Bichon standard. There is written how the Bichon should look like, which kind of trim, how long is where, why, and what do we want to achieve. So you don't need no one to tell you how to groom a Bichon, because that's what we should do, understanding the homework and diving deep into a knowledge about the dogs. So I'll give you, from my perspective, something that you want from me to give. And that when I say, I'll give you what you want to know. And you want to know how to groom a Bichon. And I'm giving you how to groom a Bichon. The best possible way. In these 2 days, today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, if we don't leave Kentucky, we're going to groom this little dog to perfection. And I'm going to go live. I'm going to do it tomorrow as well. I'm just, unpacking this box. I'm going to put the dog up. And I'm not using any live dogs for my presentations anymore, because I talk a lot, and it's a lot of time, to have a dog on a table, and oftentimes the dog doesn't need to, and you don't need, you need a perfect dog in order to learn how to groom perfectly. And can you just take this as well? Take, please. So, and now, what I want to draw your attention to is, and if you really want to go with me through this program in these couple of days before our challenge starts, I want you to take wherever you are, America, UK, Australia, or FCI country, whatever, just print a Bichon standard. And that's 2 pages. And this is all you need to master in order to learn how to groom a Bichon. Not looking what I do, what someone there does in China, in Korea, and then you get amazed by these beautiful lines and beautiful coat and beautiful round, and then without you being able, having a dog to put that trim on, you keep doubting your possibilities, your skills, but that's going to affect your self-doubt in a global scheme. I never wanted for anyone else to feel, because I felt dummy as well, but I never stopped going after people I wanted to learn from. My mentors, I look for them with obstacle, with a magnifying glass. But once I found, I surrendered. If they didn't have time for me, I'll ask 10 times if I don't understand. And I do understand that might be a personal preference of some, but I didn't want my teacher to stop in my way of learning, because the teacher already knows. You need to find a way to learn from teacher. And the success of learning is in the persistence of the student. And if I'm telling you, let's open the standard and let's discuss the standard and let's see where there's hidden guidance for grooming a perfect Bichon. And the perfect Bichon will be hidden within the within the lines that we need to give a meaning to. And by giving meaning to those lines, you are giving that subjectiveness of interpretation, what will tomorrow become your signature, your differentiation, your competitive advantage. Because you don't want to be groomed like Sasha Reese. Every single time that people come to me to the school and say, I want to groom like you, I said that would be a Sasha Reese replica that will never be as great as I try to be through my life. Every single time when you say, I want to groom like him or like her or like they, it's problem, because you are trying to do something that's already done, that's already discovered. You become a copycat. And for the groomer that usually want to express its artistic way, artistic skills, copying the original, it's not fulfilled way. You have a lot of books written about how to groom a Bichon. Lines, here, there, from here till here you use 7F, and then from here to there you use scissors, and from there to here. And when you follow all of those things, you end up nowhere, because you might follow the same pattern, because the end of the withers is end of the withers on every dog. Base of the tail is base of the tail on every dog. But how long or short should something be depend on the more likely understanding the harmonic development of how the picture is put together. Like, is this top line long or it's short? And if it's long according to what? According to neck, or according to height of the dog, or according to depth of the chest, or according to what? And you know what's the biggest challenge to the grooming according to these principles that someone set for you in your behalf, because we don't have time or we don't want to put an effort in learning it right way? There is no shortcut in developing the creative mind. There is a pathway. Everyone that had a dedicated time to do the learning, they're gonna keep expanding. The ones that were taking classes from the great people, because oftentimes comes that the great people, the great groomers, doesn't know why they did it. They know that they achieved something, but they don't know how they did it. And now we go to their master classes asking, what you do? How do you hold your scissors there? Which blade you use? My students become very much frustrated when I said, I don't know what I'm using now. At this dog, at this time, with these circumstances, I'm using 7F. But that might change tomorrow with the same dog, because maybe the dog went in heat, or it got some different diet, and the coat changed. And the length of 7 wouldn't stay anymore. Now I need to use or 4 or 10. I don't know what I'm going to use. But when I develop the overall understanding, or what do I want to achieve, what do I want to achieve, and why do I want to achieve, then how appears as an outcome of conclusion. And that how changes with every single dog on your table. And I see industry circling around thinking that I need more practice. But what I'm doing, I'm practicing more things I don't know. So I become more and more entangled in the things I don't know. And how to learn them is actually start finally knowing them. So these 2 pages is path to your best in show winning grooming competitions, artistic skills that require artistic knowledge, and your superior power and competitive advantage among the others. You know why it's only 1% of the people in industry keep giving out seminars after year after year, year after year, year after year? You see these mega competitions, A class, A division, taken by the same people since I competed 2012. I see the same people compete still. So how do they got to A level? And then this intermediate class is almost empty because a lot of people are trying to get into compete. They try 2 times and they stop because they see A level is untouchable. Why is only that 1% remains year after year after year after year? Everyone want to be like them, and by wanting to be like someone, you lose the possibility to develop yourself in your own uniqueness. And then you know what's the other thing I'm going to reveal this program is that we want to be a star of the industry. We want to be a star of 1%, and I want to be an A division. I want to be on a groom team. I want to travel the world holding seminars to other grooming professionals. There is no money. There is no money. Literally, some of them paying their own trips. They are paying their own, they're maybe having sponsors paying for their trips in return for talking about their products, paying for them for their hotel fees, for airfares, to giving seminars by promoting the products on the booth. There is no money. Been there, done that. Now when I want to talk, I need to negotiate how much money I need to spend in order to host or hold or give the seminar to the industry people. And by wanting to belong to the industry, you're actually getting away from the market where the real money is. The real money is with your doggy moms, in your local community, in your little hometown, in your street, in your little heaven, where you, instead of becoming and being looked up as a local dog coat cutter, you can become a local celebrity and a star that everyone wants to have on their parties. We live that life in Little Fairfield when we get there.
Kajo, I see the problem with you groomers thinking why. Why do the intricate work when they can get away with charging more for guilting the client into shaving and charging triple? Kimberly, Matt, Thomas.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. But you see where this leads? This leads to the overburn, because the people are always feeling, it's not about the client. Guilting the client is a way, how do you actually, that's where I'm going with this program that I want to start doing on Friday. It's how do you get a celebrity in your local community, among the people that you make guilty, because entire industry is making them guilty. They don't brush, they don't care, they don't do this, they don't do that. And those are the people that are schooling our children, paying the breakfast and bread on our table. It's not the industry. It's not a colleague that tells you, oh my God, Sasha, this beautiful trim is so amazing. I would just wish if I would know how to groom like that, I would be perfect groomer and I would finally be happy. It's not like that. because you don't need this to have a successful business. But regardless, what you need to do is you need to know it. So it doesn't become that you don't know it because no one needs it. That's required by your industry standard for you to know to groom like a perfect, very, very secure and self-confident groomer. And that's what I want to finally distinguish the grooming industry from the pet care market. In the grooming industry, there is no money. You can't make money giving seminars, making shows, running around the world, making yourself being famous, and questioning like, why I'm doing this? What for? Oh, because then if you do this and you show to the people how great you were on the competition, and how you are a competitive groomer, and how you give seminars to the other groomer, how entire industry is watching at you, you will be able to charge more at your local community. No, they don't care. They don't care about how great you are, because only what they care about is how to live the happy, healthy life with their dog. How to live a happy, healthy life with their dog. They don't care about your beautiful grooming knowledge and perfect skills. They don't care about that. We care. And we think that by knowing more, we're able to charge more. No, the price you charge on your people depend on how much value of what they want you provide. And you are right. You was perfectly right. Why would they learn this if they can blame and making their customers feel guilty and charge them triple times for what they've done? But what we are doing and what we are having there, that's not sustainable business. Every single thing showed that. No matter, I've been in the industry for a long time, trying, I was on a seminars of all kind, and oftentimes I was pretending that I earn. The only job I was really paid for was my show dog handling career. And I was charging like $1,000 to $3,000 a day, plus all expenses paid. While my colleagues and entire industry in that world were charging like $10 or maybe $100, or maybe based on performance and results of the dogs. But I charged such a big amount of the money because I had only one client. And I was having only VIP clients. So when they go, I'm stuck with no one. But usually I would always get a new one very fast, because I would have a people lined up and they would ask me like, please, can you take my dog? I said, no, because I already have one. And then when I tried to replicate that knowledge to a grooming industry, they were looking at my like a con artist, like I'm telling things to the people that doesn't work. But every single one that listened, sooner or later, applied. They came back and said, I'm sorry, I didn't listen to you earlier. And I apologize, because maybe way of my teaching and way of my talking and tone of my voice and way how I put that together occurs rude to people. So let's go back to this, what you really want, to groom a Bichon. Now I'm telling you why. You need to know how to groom a Bichon. Because trust me, once you put a real work and you start getting real results, because your brain and your image start changing, even though you don't see the results are shifting. It's shifting. Because because that's why I learned this, because I'm also great, because I needed to have that knowledge, because I was a great show dog handler. My dogs willingly worked for me in the show ring. What gave them this wonderful charisma, that was a winning eye. I couldn't know, like, as much as dogs were in the ring, up to 50 sometime, a lot, my dogs were always the most happiest, the most vigilant, the most charismatic. You couldn't take your eye off them, and they were winning. So in order for me to learn that, that was my competitive advantage, knowing things others didn't know, because other ones were just looking what the others were doing. and they remain in that ocean of no oneness, ocean of many. And that's where you remain frustrated for a long time. Not you, everyone else, everyone, including me. When you remain unseen, when you remain in the majority, because when you win, you are one, and the majority of the people lost over you, or they are under you, so they create this group of the people telling around and bitching around like, why did they lost? So actually, being on the top is very lonely place. It's lonely place. But I'm ensuring you, being on the top in the grooming industry as well is 1% of the people of the entire grooming population. And it's a lonely place. Because those people did the hard work of learning it right way. Not necessarily that they are aware of that. So that's why oftentimes they keep teaching, like, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. And it's not the right way to teach it. And if whoever took my classes back, whenever I started, whatever I was telling, I never said, this is how you do it. I said, this is how I am doing it. And this is what I learned. This is a path I went through in order to come to this point. What I want to teach you is go through the journey, and unexpected results will come, because on the end, you're gonna start grooming like a star on your own. And I'm gonna tell you, wow. And it's gonna tell you wow, because that wow can't be seen on another place. So it's not another book that you copied and you said, oh my God, look at my dog, looks like this from the book. That's already a past. You are mimicking the past. You're trying to do something that's already done. And there is where this unfulfilled life remains, because we all always think, oh, I just need this show to win. I just need this masterclass to take. I just need this bettering my skills, and then I'm gonna make it. And then again, you remain disappointed because it's not working that way. The reprogramming the mind, or programming the mind, is actually developing, it's a neuroscience. It's a neuroscience. So you need to develop image on the screen of your mind that's unique, that's yours. And once you see it, you will be able to use the skills and express it outside yourself. Then, only then, your creativity become your art, and your differentiation, and your uniqueness, and your competitive advantage. So, how do we learn out from these 2 pages of the breed standard how to groom a Bichon? So, it says a general appearance. The Bichon Frise is a small, sturdy, white powder puff of dog whose merry temperament is evidenced by his plumed tail carried over his back, with his dark-eyed, exquisite expression. So the idea of using all of these words to say something without saying anything is a typical wording in the dog standard. Because the dog standard usually is written by the breed club. And since the Bichon, by the breed club, the club of the Bichon, actually recommended by the probably Belgium or France, I don't know which one owns them now, because that's kind of very big discussion, but let's say Belgium, because that's their place of origin. So, and then you have a club that have breeders of many kind and types of the dogs. And when they come together, they deliberately chit-chat on these shows, like on these meetings, how should we describe appearance of our dogs? And then you end up having this like exquisite expression. What the fuck means exquisite expression? How to make a dog that you need to groom appear with exquisite expression? I don't know. So probably there is a lot of words that doesn't mean nothing because they're vague in their description and can be interpreted based on a subjective analyzation of the wording themselves. So it goes toward, but then as you go, you kind of come to this kind of proportion, let's say, size, proportion, substance. So the size is then like how should be this is very interesting also sentence. It says structural faults common to all breeds are undesirable in Bichon Frise, as in many other breeds, even though such faults may be not specifically mentioned in the standard. So now already they told us in this specific sentence that we need to have some general knowledge about a balance symmetry that applies to the other breeds that are of a similar type or of a similar group that might be applied to the Bichon Frise as well. So now again, here this little sentence tells us that we need to go back to something. What the something is? I don't know. Let's keep it there for now. And then we come to how high the dog should be, 11.5 inches or whatever, shouldn't be more than 12 inches or less than under 9 inches, things like that. But then it comes to a proportion. And now we have a first thing that's very specific to a breed. It says the body, can we see the dog? It says the body from the forwardmost point of the chest, that's this one here, okay, to the point of rump is 1/4, so 25% longer than the height at the withers. So these are the withers. The dog height should be 25% less than the dog's length. So the Bichon is not a square appeared dog because it's written in a standard. And now no one tells you. You don't need to listen. You don't need to read any book about the grooming of the Bichon standard. There is no grooming of the Bichon standard because every single grooming should express the standard recommended appearance of the dog, following the unique perception of the groomer, handler, or the breeder who creates the form, following some trends. And the trends are always created by the trendsetters that have courage to do something different. Because that's the one way that you can take an attention off in a ring, to do something that no one is doing. So when you go into the World Dog Show with the Bichons and you see all of these 50, 100 dogs in a ring, how do you attract attention of the judge that has 1 minute or 2 minutes per dog to go over them, and then finally has some way of choosing among the dogs? Sometimes you just need to have a different expression than recommended, different expression than everyone else has, because everyone else was looking the last dog that judge was putting up, and they were starting grooming dogs for the judge, actually betraying themselves, wanting to please the wrong one. And then when they fail or they are not picked, then they would blame whoever. So this is like an expression. How long is my Bichon? My Bichon is perfectly long if it's 25% more than its height. Let's do that here with this dog. We'll go until we go. Where is the measuring tape? Huh? It's faster.
107.
There you go. Here it is. So how would you know when tomorrow I put what are you doing now? When tomorrow we put this dog and start grooming it, how do I know like how long I need to be here? Let's try. So I'm gonna measure it from here. So the highest point of the here. So the highest point of the chest is here. This dog kind of doesn't show the force. And the highest point of the rump is here. So this dog has length of 13 inches. So I'm gonna write it. Nemor ništa, 13 long. So now we're gonna need to know how high the dog needs to be in order to balance this. So height of the dog is measured like this, from the highest point of the leader till the ground. And then this dog have 9 inches long, 9 inches high. So now what we need to know is 13, 25% is 9 plus 25%, 13. And you can just take your phone and you can go to your calculator and you can open the calculator and say 9 plus 25% equals 11.25. So I have a long dog, much longer than needed. It's not because Sasha said so. It's not because some YouTube star sensation that grooms Bichon told you so. It's because it's written very specifically in the standard that if your dog is high 9 inches, it should belong 11.25. So it's almost square, but for 25% less. So my dog is either short on legs or it's long in body. Which of two? I don't know. I'm gonna be able to check on that when I will put the coat tomorrow and then see what of these two I can shift in order to make a dog appear the way the dog should appear. And there is also another very important things, and it says like the body from the withers to the lowest point of the chest. So from the withers till the lowest point of the chest represent a half distance from the withers to the ground. So that otherwise said, the height of the dog's body, let's do it together. The height of the dog's body measured from the, because this is withers and this is the thing that goes, so this is a withers, so it goes like this. So we have this one is like 9 inches. Oh, let's say it's not 9, I'm sorry. It's, I didn't measure it properly because I was not there. So this dog is, no, it is 9. So means that this is 9, okay? So it means that his chest should be 4.5 inches here. So it's not right. His elbow appears to be right. But his chest is too high. It should be 4.5, middle of the 9. So now I know. And you know how I know? Because I read the standard. I learned from standard. You don't need any book with a guidance to tell you about these things. And then you move on. And then you go like expression. It says soft, dark, exquisite, alert. So when they said like eyes are, so that's expression. Soft, so soft. This is soft. And then you have all of those dogs that are groomed with those eyes like a dog, angry face. So if you would really get a judge that's that's kind of like a, really knows the breed. And it says like, why would you groom this dog to have an angry expression? Because the first thing it says, soft, dark-eyed, inquisitive. Как что говорит? Inquisitive. Oh, inquisitive and alert. So that's what we need to develop. So now, soft is what you need to come up with. Dark-eyed, of course, that you need to. And then questioning this.
I hate that angle over the eyes too.
Yeah, that's kind of, but you are right. You are right, but then what comes out from this is how you're going to groom. It's kind of like how you're going to interpret soft, dark-eyed. Because someone put those angry face because maybe they just, focused on this alert way. The dog should look alert, whatever alert expression means. And then questioning all of this, because, expression is very interestingly looked when you face the dog frontally. So that's when you have the expression. And how do you know about the expression? Because, why the dogs are groomed in this way? It's because now we need to learn a little bit about the history of the breed. And when you learn about the history of the breed, you would see that the breed was the breed was bred for those sailors of the Belgium sailors that were like sailing on a seas for a long time, and they slowly started to kind of like breed together like whitey dogs of the Portuguese water dogs and other water dogs that were there accessible to them, and then starting to kind of like smaller the size and start to kind of extract the whiteness of dog, slowly appearing and having completely white dog. But what's very important is that head expression, why the head is round and why the eyes are round. Because the dog, this is a toy dog, like kind of like the people are following. I don't know in which group they appear in America, but I think there should be like toy group, I guess. Can you help me in that? Like in which group they appear in American Tennis Club? Because in the FCI they are like their pet group, like a group number 9, that kind of like for following and fun and things like that. And why is that? Because the soldiers wanted to have a pet dog that they can kind of pet while so it couldn't be a big dog. And also this round head has very humanoid looking, round dark eyes, and this triangle that they create in that expression is very much baby-like. And what they did actually is they mirrored the babies that they left home, and they're kind of like get through them, connected through the dogs with their children that were not with them. So from that little history of why the breed exists in this planet at all, we should learn about this expression. And that's when it comes as soft, dark-eyed, inquisitive, and alert is something that becomes your signature in interpreting this round. And maybe no one will do that rather than you, just because you interpret these words differently. And that's what you need. We can like go over this kind of like over and over and over, but I don't want to do something that I think you can have your homework on this. I leave you with this. To do the reading of these 2 pages until tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll brush out the dog and I'll put all of these things, and then we're gonna slowly start incorporating my interpretation of the dog standard. And then let's see in 2 days, I'm gonna do half tomorrow, half day after tomorrow, and then see how much we're gonna accomplish in these 2 days. And that's what I want to take you to this journey, is actually how to use this grooming knowledge that you already have. Everything I'm talking about you already have. The frustration becomes because we are not using them up to our best how you call that, ability to express it with the actual money-making machine within our local community. You need to make yourself be a local community superstar. So we did that in little town called Fairfield in Little Iowa when we were like developing all of this. We said like our primary target was LA, or was like a, how can I say, high-end clientele, let's say like that, doggy moms, groomers, parents, things like that. So he said we go to LA, but the LA, in order to make you analyze and discover and do all of this search and research might be very expensive because you cannot find cheap rents and things like that. So we did our homework on another place. We find an amazing little town in Iowa that hosted a lot of LA people during the summer. So the idea was that try to make us become all of this, what I'm talking about, in that little community. How do I turn myself like a Sasha Reese, full-time celebrity, whatever I was in my life, to these different worlds of the groomers and the canine show world and things like that? How do I make myself famous in town that no one knows about me? So we opened a little shop. I named it Sasha Reese. In no time, we were like seen as a local celebrities. We were like getting our invitation from a party to a party, from the, whatever we wanted, we had on that little community. And that's very interesting to see. Like we had like a couple of competitors there. Like there were like a couple of groomers already. One was very nice, but she closed the moment we opened. So we put our sign up, and then the next day, she's closing, no matter for what reason. And then the other two, what was very interesting to us was that the average grooming there was like in between $25 to $45, right? And we charged for our services in between $120. That was the minimum to come onward. There were a way how you can, subscribe and come more often and, work on that price around. But our basic price was $120. For that, what other colleagues next door were charging $25, unknown in the area. So what I wanted to talk to you is about like, how do you open the shop with the most competitive prices, and how do you make yourself be appreciated by the local community, not seen as a local dog coat cutter, respected, paid. But you need to work on yourself. You need to work on your self-esteem. You need to work on the way that the people and the business and this personality that we have that easily can be maneuvered and hurted from no matter what reason. No one is judging. Again, I apologize to everyone I hurt it with my rudeness just because I didn't know better. But I always had my interest of my students as my primary focus. And then I said, like, if you need to learn this, what can stop you? And if I was one to stop you from learning, I deeply apologize, but I remained available to every single one of you to come back and say, oh my God, this is what you did to me. This is what I expected. This is what I got. Where we go from here, what we can do. I'm still in searching of how to make this job be in fulfillment with my life, both personal and professional, and fulfilling from inside, and down the road helping people that living with the dog to have better lifestyle. What do I need to do in order to become that one to the people I state I care so much about? So see you tomorrow. I'm gonna I'm gonna do the same thing you do. Print these 2 pages, and we're gonna see from here what you come up with the most important things. We're gonna focus tomorrow on the body and putting the shape in the dog, and then day after tomorrow I'm gonna do the finishing. So there is 2 portions of the grooming the dog: is prep work, the shaping, and the finishing. So prep work I'm gonna do tomorrow, and we don't bother with that now because I assume that's a skill, and you already have all of those skills. They cannot be better. They can be better only if you change some shampoo, conditioner, start doing something you are not doing now. But that's not a skill. It's again knowledge about the purposeful choice of products. On the other side, so that you can improve there, but it's not.
Groomers need to agree on processes and procedures for accurate learning.
Groomers need to agree on.
Processes.
Yeah, that one.
Procedures for accurate learning.
There you go. Like what I'm doing here is I'm revealing what's already brought success to everyone that implemented it. I cracked the code. And I can discuss it with the people and make it better. I said to my students, I said, please implement what I'm telling you to do. Implement it and come back to me, tell me it doesn't work. But I don't want to discuss too much with an idea of this is not the right way to do it. Let's come from the beginning till the end by doing it and then discuss it on the end. And you know why I'm so confident that I'm at the right path? Because I'm doing this for 25 years, teaching people this way.
Oh gosh, I believe in you.
I had a handful of people making the accurate decisions in completely surrendering to what I teach. Handful. The rest of them, for 25 years, has opinion about my teaching. Never tried to fully engage in it. Never tried. They had opinion it's not good without trying it. And I'm always making it better and better, discussing with the people that went through the full program. Full, not dropping off on 75%, not dropping off, because more you get into the program, more resistance gonna be there. And you know what you need to have then? Trust in your mentor. That I went through that darkness and I went through it. I was just about, all of this I tried to implement in one of the probably biggest possibilities that this industry had to make an impact, like a really great possibility. It remained possibility because we split parts, because my then partners didn't believe that this is actually the way to go. And of course, I wish them all the best, even though I know the outcome. Because I know that this market doesn't need a better social media page where you post your daily grooming before and after pictures. The people doesn't care about that. The people doesn't care about that. What do people, really clients that pays us, care about? It's something that I'm gonna talk about to the people that are gonna sign up for this challenge, because there is a way. Because the grooming is I'm gonna share this one and then I'll let you go for today. So the grooming is a tip of the iceberg, right? So this is a grooming. In order for you to groom dogs, you need to have a knowledge and skills here. And then you just put that a little of scissoring, clipping, and then you cut the coat in a way you think it should be done. This part of your knowledge is completely unused. And your money, your success, your reputation, your expertise, your differentiation on the local market where the money is untapped in. You know how I tested this and how I know? Once I break from this, telling people how great groomer I am, how nicely I groom dogs, and start sharing with my people this portion of my knowledge. My social media on my Serbian account where I check this, and now I'm gonna work with you on putting it towards our English account in the States as well, my attention,
We need more men like you. Woo.
thank you so much, my attention, people, put back camera to me, brate. People attention that I was able to grab increased like 3,500,000%. And out of that, I started grabbing people that actually never heard of me. They didn't know I exist. And I have so much to share with them. And they're so eager that I'm kind of like overwhelmed when I open in the morning, I open my social media. I had like hundreds of messages, people asking for help. Average doggy moms that really need help. They don't need lecture about how badly they brush the coat. They already know. They're ashamed of that. They would like to do something better. But the dog care, it's not about the coat cutting only. It's a holistic approach that needs to be structured, well communicated, and finally, well charged for. But the people maybe don't want to pay as much for the coat clipping as much as they would pay for the holistic dog care service. And in this challenge, I'm giving you the Bichon and the way to Bichon grooming because I know that's what you are interested in. But a real skyrocketing shift in your career gonna happen if you implement this strategy that I'm revealing on this closed free challenge that I'm starting on Friday. I could do it on a web page, like on Facebook, things like that. But I want you to feel safe community, to be safe within this closed area, closed Zoom calls or whatever we're going to have, in order for you to be able to digest this step-by-step revealing of how do you merge knowledge that you already have and people around you are thirsty for. They won't pay. They don't want to pay you for how you groom their dogs. Because the groomers are disrespected. I heard people telling like, you can't fail enough in life. That you, even if you fail everywhere, you can still become a groomer. That.
Kimberly, here's my summary of this great talk. Sasha is on the top of his trade and skill, especially with the divine proportion teachings and handling alone. His passion and deep insight is proven and tested, and I'm happy to recommend his teachings.
Kimberly, you just make me almost, that tears of my internal crying are just bubbling around me. Thank you so much. We will dive into a divine proportion as well, because that's a crucial for our understanding how great we are in the industry. But most importantly, I cracked the code of how we can become more valued in the local communities. We need to, in order to do that, we need to provide to the people value. Clipping the coat of their dogs is not enough value. But I assure you that you do have within you, if you groom dogs, then all of this untapped knowledge does exist within. And I just want you to shift it into something that you're going to develop your confidence on, your public expression and appearance, and ultimately your money. Finally. Love you. See you tomorrow. Maybe around the same time. I think it would be the same time, around 3 p.m. Eastern time. But whenever I come up, I'm going to groom this little dog according to what I came out suitable. And I recommend to you, everyone that want to follow me tomorrow live, again, like go through these 2 pages. It's not too much. Read them with a full interest and full like a dedication to every single word within. and start trying to see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, because I want to teach, and I teach my students to become forever learners on their own. And that's what actually the master, real master, is. Self-learner, self-search. You search. Search for the quest. And the answers are within us, inspired by the knowledge we need to and learn how to approach. And then we approach the knowledge. We approach the knowledge the same. That's the path. But we express the knowledge uniquely. And that's why it's important for you not to go from one workshop to the other, from one video to the other, from one tutorial to the other, because you're going to get more self-doubt. I will never know how to do this. I'll never be a top division. I'll never be a groom team member. Why would I be a groom? I'll never make money on this. I don't know. And that's a self-doubt that actually burns you from inside. And from something that we loved and enjoyed so much, we start having this career that I just don't want to go tomorrow. I can't wait for Sunday and Monday. I can't wait for the weekend. I can't wait this dog to not come to me anymore. I hate dogs. I hate people. I hate the life. Shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be like that. Thank you so much. Sign up for that event. Come see what I want to share with you. Not that I don't want to share here, but I want to share it in a safe and interactive, more interactive environment with more tools to express it. God bless you. See you tomorrow. And then let's put this little dog into a shape. And how I'm getting there is using my skills and interpretation of the breed standard. I love you a lot. Have a wonderful evening and see you tomorrow. Bye.